It is 3:05 in the morning. Keeping it real. This is what non-rev travel looks like. You wake up at 2:45 in the morning and you drive to the airport with a 2% chance of getting on the flight that you're hoping to get on. So when they say, oh yeah, I have travel benefits, know what that really means. Okay, so it is now 11 o'clock in the morning. I've been here since 4, so my brain's a little muddled from no sleep, but I think that means I've been here for 7 hours. I didn't get on any of the ships. Now we're going to be trying the Fort Wayne flight, which right now is looking good. I get so pessimistic about non-rev travel. On the bright side, I've now traversed most of the walkways in DFW. Okay. Yay, small airports, where it takes you 5 minutes to get from the complete opposite side to the other. Personally, nothing makes me feel more like an adult than picking up my own rental car. That and checking into hotels. Got upgraded from an economy to a compact, so that was kind of exciting. And now let's see. Alright, that's our route. Go. Oh, before we do that though, we gotta fix the Spanish station. Alright, so we are in Indiana. It's called LaGrange, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I've been through so many cities. But this is our view from the top of the little hill. And it's very pretty. And Jake said he wasn't going to talk on my blog, so I won't force him to. But we are going to where the boys go hunting, which is called Archie's, correct? Mm-hmm. And Archie's, it's called Archie's because that was the guy who owned it before Doc. Okay? So, we're going to go out there. We're going to try not to freeze. I was graciously given an extra coat because that's awesome because I'm from Texas. Not from the north.
Opening the tree trunk so you can just kind of see back. See that tree laying down way back in there?
Yeah.
There's a field in there. It's a food top. That's called McDonald's. That's where the deer stop and just get a quick bite to eat.
Oh.
See the hawk?
We're looking at a hawk. He's staring us down. Yeah.
House. So the people walking through is called a cabin feeder because it's cabin. See? You can look all the way to the end, kind of to the left. Mm-hmm. And it goes back in a little bit there. You see the tree. It's kind of, that tree that's bent, kind of right there. There's two right there. That's, that little corner of that field is called Glen Voigt. Voigt is a New Zealand term for a small alcove in a field.
Oh.
And my dad always sat right in that little corner.
Gotcha.
And so it's called Glen Voigt.
Glen Voigt.
Off of it.
Cool.
Some of his ashes are there.
Oh, okay.
I always like to stop by there.
Yeah.
When I was out here hunting with Logan, that's where I shot.
Gotcha.
Right here to the right. On the other side of the woods is kind of a brushy area.
Mm-hmm.
This is called the finger because on the map it looks like somebody's sticking a finger out of the woods.
Oh.
It's called the finger. If you step back right here, see this ladder right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's a stand right there.
Okay.
We sit in there all the time. The deer come right down the finger all the time. Usually going to the east.
Okay.
And that's where I got my shot yesterday.
That's where you got your shot yesterday.
That's where Dad got his, and that's where Sarah got his.
Gotcha. So that's your stand right there.
Yep.
That's where you got your 2 bucks last year.
Right there on that tree, you can see it hanging there.
You got 2 bucks last year or 1?
One. Doxul is 1 doe, 1 buck.
So that's where you got both of them last year.
So the first buck I ever got out here was on my 17th birthday, the morning of my 17th birthday, and I was sitting there with my bow, and a doe came in and ran right in front of my stand across and went down that way into the little thicket over there, and a buck was chasing her, and they were moving really fast, so I didn't get a shot. I didn't even really know they were coming until they were already really
On top
close.
of you.
And so they ran off that way, and I pulled my buck grunt out and started grunting, and the buck turned around and came back and went right under my stand and down over that hill towards the little swamp area. And as he was looking the other way, because, well, back up a little bit, I had a little doe urine bottle in the tree over there, and he ran over kind of to that, and when he was looking the other way is when I got my shot, and he ran over and ended up in that little thicket over there that we were showing you earlier.
Gotcha.
So that was the first one. That was my 17th birthday.
Cool.
And then I had to sit down because I was shaking so bad. Then I went over and walked over to the finger stand, which is where Dad was sitting. And I couldn't talk, so I just signaled. He climbed down quick, and then we went and found it. And then Grandpa came over. And then last year, 2 years ago, I only had 1 day to hunt, and the morning was a bust. And the evening we came and sat here, and Dad climbed up a climbing stand up above me on the other side of the tree. And I was standing facing that way, and a bunch of deer came down this way, and another buck was chasing like 3 or 4 doe.
Yeah.
And he got down to that low point over there, and we had about 2 minutes until we could legally not shoot anymore because it was dark. And Dad was like, if you're gonna shoot, do it now. And I used a little fork in the tree and aimed and shot. And he only went like 50 yards.
That's awesome.
Over there and so
And then where did you get your doe this year?
that was front of the stand down there in the
The
finger.
stand down there in the finger.
Yes.
Okay.
This is kind of where Grandpa used to sit, always right in here. He sat up against this brush pile all the time.
Really?
Yeah. There's a stump somewhere right here. That might be it right there. It fell over. But he would come in here and he would just sit on that stump
Yeah.
and fall asleep for like 2 hours.
And then wake up and shoot a deer.
Well, that's one of the funniest stories from here is Grandpa was sitting on that stump and fell asleep. And I don't know. But yeah, he said he was sitting there like this and he woke up and he opened his eyes and there was a little baby fawn about this big standing about from here to the tree just looking at him. And he was telling us about it in the cabin. He goes, I opened my eyes and a little deer was standing there looking at me and he just went bleh. And so that's one of our big inside jokes now is a little baby deer and Grandpa sitting on the stump watching him sleep. Yeah. Yeah, he sat in here all the time. He would sit over in that tree sometimes.
Yeah, let's go walk over there.
In his stand. Which is where he was using my bow and pointing arrow into Kingdom Come somewhere. He kept telling me you're not supposed to have your finger on the trigger on the bow when you're pulling it back.
He didn't listen.
And one time he was pulling it back and there it went. Somewhere that way.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Glen Boyd.
Very awesome. Cabins over there. Yeah.
There's a lot down here. You see, you watch the trail, so the usual by the trail. There's one that keep watching as you walk. And you get the branch and do the look, right?
Yeah.
This is lower than usual because the branch is so high. Usually the branch is about here.
Yeah.
Okay? So these are scrapes. Think of a spatula scraping the earth away. It's a signpost, okay? Now, step over here. Look at that tree. Here, step in front of me. See that tree right there? See? The bark is rubbing?
Yeah.
That's from rubbing their head, all right? And that is an issue. The bucks, remember their horns grow, their antlers grow.
Right.
All right, each year, and then they have velvet. It's a comfort thing. They itch, so they rub their head on a tree to get the velvet off.
Gotcha.
And generally, the bigger the tree they rub on, the bigger the buck.
Gotcha.
Okay. Right here, see this trail right here? You're coming out the trail. All right, scrape right here at the same time. Okay. Yep. Fresh tracks from last night. This is kind of unusual because there's no branch, but there's a branch right here.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can see on the rock.
Yeah. And see the trail right here? See the bushes are broken out? See the lower branch?
Yeah.
See it? Now this one is usually right here. Beautiful. Branches low. Looking branch.
Yeah.
See how fresh it is? Those leaves just fell this morning. So
Right.
there's tracks there, but then there's a trail that comes through. See the prints? Like the little fawn print right there? That little one? That's a little bitty fawn print. Okay. So you see how big the feet are? See how wide his feet are scraping? So that's a big buck. It's a pretty big buck.
That was last night.
Yep,
Gotcha.
That was from last night.
So we are in a little gift shop in the middle of downtown. What
Shipshawana.
We're in Shipshawana. If that's not a mouthful, I don't know what is. But Christmas has taken over already. I found the little peoples. Little peoples. They're everywhere. This one is hilarious. Then we have the Grinch. You know, Max. And then there's Snow the water tower. So this is the Blue Gate apparently. It's a big restaurant.
And so this is where Wynonna Judd will be here in a few weeks.
Oh, alright.
So they have
Shipshawana furniture. I guess that's the big tree with the tree lighting happens.
that's the lighting.
They've already decorated like the entire town for Christmas.
Yes.
I ended up buying a little pumpkin at this little gift shop. It's going to go on my piano.
Gotta admit, that's
Make your own sign. Little store called Country Living.
I said they built the building around the tree.
I thought that was fake. Oh my gosh. There's a carousel like this in Brenham. Yeah, and you notice up at the top the way everything works off of that central shaft. So it only has one motor, and then all the gears work to. So I'm guessing this is one of the original carousels. So it's Tuesday, and the house is empty because everybody's at home. There are these beautiful blue jays outside for the bird feeder. It's just really pretty here. Okay, so it's day 3. It's Tuesday, and we're driving back. You got a buck. Technically a 7-point, you said, but one kind of hadn't grown in yet.
One wasn't fully grown, so it wasn't tall enough to get counted.
And the other one was broken.
One of the brow tines, the left side brow tine was snapped off.
So,
Or
but
a fight or something.
at least we have a doe and a buck. So that's good.
We have a lot of meat this year.
Yay!
A lot of meat.
Taco, taco, taco. So, that's good. I spent most of the morning talking with Miss Deb, which was awesome. It was very cool, like, being in the house and nobody being there, and it was very quiet. I had breakfast in peace. But then Miss Deb came, and it was awesome. We had a really, really awesome conversation just about life and trips and etc. So that's cool. And now we are in the car, and we are headed to the airport. Jared's a little squeezed in.
I was just telling Maddie that at some point in our life, when we have just a little extra money to spend, we are going to get bigger rental cars because I do not fit.
Yes.
I frankly had more room in a 152 than I do in this car.
Maybe we'll also buy a plane that also has a little bit more room than a 152. So, it's been fun. Passing all the little houses. We saw little Amish kids playing on the street just a little while ago. So, it's a fun trip. Hopefully, we already got seats assigned anyway, because there's like 50-something seats available
On a 70-seat airplane.
on a 70-seat airplane. So yay! Non-rev flying at its finest. That was a good day. Stopped and grabbed a geocache really quick. It's in this tree next to this field in a cemetery. And I guess there was a really famous bandit that was buried here after he was executed for his crimes. So there you go.